Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to touch upon a subject that has been very successful in the past on this channel, which is etiquette. I have talked about this extensively in a previous video, which I'll link here, but I love etiquette and what it represents, but there are some etiquette rules that are just plain weird, or maybe underrated, or maybe not really known. So today we're going to go over a few etiquette rules that you've probably never heard of. Just a parenthesis, just because they are unheard of or underrated or unknown doesn't mean they don't have a reason of being. So if you guys have any additional information, do sound off in the comments. First rule, and this falls into the category of why does it exist? I don't know, which is you're supposed to eat omelets only with a fork, never with a knife. And this is true for most egg dishes, so omelets, sunny side up, poached. I don't know why. Why can't we use a knife for it? I would kind of think it would be because eggs kind of cling to silverware, so maybe it's not sanitary, but at the same time you just wash it off. It would be the same with a fork or with a spoon. I don't know. It's just one of those etiquette mysteries. If you know the answer, let me know. Second etiquette rule is regarding sunglasses. We all know that when we sit down to have a meal with someone, when we get into an enclosed space, when we're talking to someone, it's always better to take our sunglasses off. But you are not only supposed to take them off, but you're supposed to store them away. So you do not place them in your head, you do not place them in the collar of your top, you put them back in your bag. I would say that perhaps it's to not use your body as storage to things, so everything has its place. That is a big thing in etiquette. It's also not really great because you end up ruining your sunglasses, it can fall down. It also sort of gives the impression that you're going to put them back on briefly. So maybe it does make sense, actually. Etiquette also says that you are not supposed to ask someone to open a present in front of you. Now, this makes total sense to me. When we give someone a present, it is a gesture of appreciation, something that you're not supposed to ask for anything in return of. So when you're asking someone to open a present in front of you, not only will the person feel like she has to lie and pretend that she liked your gift, but you're also sort of asking for a reaction in return, almost as if the present is not a genuine gesture of appreciation, of kindness, of friendship. You're just looking for compliments or a thank you in return. When you're eating a hamburger, and I think this is a etiquette conundrum that many people sort of think about. Eating a burger naturally sounds messy to me, but I have seen multiple etiquette gurus teaching this and I find it very helpful because I have applied it to my day-to-day life. You could use a knife and fork, which I think is a little awkward and takes away from the experience of having a burger. If you want to have it in your hands, you cut it in half and then you eat separate halves. This makes it more manageable. You can eat by the corners so you're not getting ketchup and sauce all over your face. It's also a little bit less of a hard thing to hold, so things are not gonna drip off. It's not a very practiced etiquette rule. I don't see people doing this, but I do find that if we started this behavior and sort of set an example, people would see not only that it looks more graceful, but it actually makes things easier. Let's make it a thing. Now, this one is a little bit controversial. In a few countries, in a few instances, I have read that ladies are not supposed to lick their ice cream cones. They're supposed to eat the ice cream with a little spoon. I personally think that many etiquette rules are universal, but in this case, I know that some people will get a little triggered, will get a little, oh, why can a man lick an ice cream cone and a woman can't? The etiquette school that taught this in a course in Turkey got a lot of backlash. Some people were saying that it makes sense, that it's kind of, you know, graphic and you're maybe making a mess of it, things are dripping out. And some people thought it was a little bit sexist, maybe nobody should eat an ice cream cone by licking it and everybody should use a spoon, not just women. And I really wanted to know your guys' opinion on this. I don't really have an opinion. I love licking ice cream cones like a 2-year-old, not elegantly at all. I'm guilty of this one as well. You're not supposed to say bon appetit when you're about to start a meal. It might sound glamorous to say it because it's French, so you're like, bon appetit! But etiquette states that bon appetit was a term coined in a time where one, people didn't have a lot of food available to them, so more than enjoying the pleasure of eating a good meal, it was a wish of good digestion, of eating and digesting nutrients. Also, when you say bon appetit, you're literally saying good appetite. So you're making reference to a systemic kind of digestive process that to some might be a little bit gauche, a little bit off-putting. So instead of saying bon appetit, you will just say enjoy your meal or please enjoy. And this is true in French, this is true in Portuguese, this is even true in Italian. You're not supposed to say it. Something else that you're not supposed to say is bless you. This for religious reasons, but also because we don't want to put the person that is having a very inevitable and natural physiological reaction on the spot. So you don't want to make that person feel like she's calling attention to herself while just sneezing or coughing. You just let the person do whatever she's doing. You're not supposed to comment on it. I say bless you all of the time, like to anyone, but I do understand that maybe the person is kind of not wanting to get that pointed out. How do you feel about it? Something else you're not supposed to do, and I find that this kind of takes away from the moment a little bit, but I'll say it anyway. You're not supposed to clink glasses. You're supposed to kind of direct your glass and sort of with your eyes or with a smile sort of say cheers. You're not supposed to clink glasses when you're cheering. That is seen as not only loud and a little bit rambunctious, but also dangerous because it can break glass and people can get hurt. So next time you have to do the Leo DiCaprio in Great Gatsby, you just raise your glass and intentfully cheer from a distance. And finally, as is true with basically anything in this world, there is a right way of eating peas. Peas are a very tricky food to eat because they're tiny, they're beady, they can roll around, and many people, myself included, would just get my fork, get my knife, and sort of do a shoveling motion of pushing your peas into your fork. That is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to turn your fork upside down, so with the teeth kind of directed towards your plate, and then with your knife on your right hand, you're going to push the peas into the teeth of the fork. This will result not only in a cleaner, more organized, more manageable bite, but things won't roll around. You will not eat as much food as you would if you were just shoveling things on your fork. You end up looking very, very graceful even when you're eating some tricky food. This is it, everyone. These are the kind of peculiar, unexpected etiquette rules that I wanted to share with you. If you have any other rules, I love knowing about etiquette. You guys know it is a bit of a passion, kind of an instrument to living together better, to being more considerate, for being more in tune with other people's behaviors and expectations. Hopefully you found this interesting or at least entertaining, and we will see each other again next time. Bye bye.